Cheryl here with CG for you. My camera is on, made sure, and we're going to go ahead and do the spine part on our little mini today. Now I know I'm going to want to cut it 3 1/4 long because I want like 3/4 to lap over my front and back. And I'm also going to be cutting it 3 1/4 high because I want to be able to turn some under up here. And I'm going to go ahead and do this first. It's going to take a little while for the glue to set on this. I'm using Quick Grip. You could use E6000. You could use hot glue if you want. But I like the quick Grip because I know it's going to hold. I know this isn't going to come undone again. I don't always trust the hot glue, and especially not the type I have right now, because this is the worst hot glue I have ever owned. So anyway, let's get this started here, and I will break when I get done with this and let it dry some, and I'll come back, and there's my kitty. She knows. Sorry, sweetie, you can't come in. You know that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to cut this piece, and I'm using a gold, wrinkly-like paper, and it's got some little sparkles in it, but it's probably pretty hard to see on there, and it's the stuff that's black on the back, and it's kind of thick, but this works really, really good. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at my 3 1/4 high. Hope I have enough paper here. Okay, there we go. Just enough. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this at my 3 1/4 this way. There we go. Okay, so I now have a square of the gold paper that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to kind of do a little guesswork on this, is I'm going to lay my little book right on here and try to get it kind of even. Okay, that looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my glue right to, and I am just about out of this glue. I've got another tube, but it got a hole in it and kind of dried up. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this right to the spine of my book. And I'm going to center it that way, and then I'll apply it to the edges when I get there. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of guess at about what is even here, just kind of looking at it. Oh, my head's not in the way. Okay, I'm just going to push that down in there so that it gets set on there really good. And that looks about even. I may have a little less up here than I have down here, but we're gonna go with that. And I'm just going to flip it over, and there's my glue oozing out on me. So I want to get that used because I am just about out. I'll have to pick up some more. I'll get it when I go up to my daughter's this weekend. Okay, so I'm just going to put that down, and I'm going to flatten that out, get it to grabbing, and I'm going to do the same over here. I'm just going the length of my book and then over to the edge. And I see that I've got this side just a little bit bigger than the other one. That's not going to matter. I'll just use this for the front of my book. And I'm just going to push it down and hold it so it grabs. And hopefully it'll be quick like it says. It never is. But we'll hope. Okay. Now, and you probably, if you're using a regular paper, by all means go ahead and use your score tape, or, whatever your preference is, for this, if you want to use white glue. There's no right and no wrong, and so I'm just now bending the edges of this paper up, and this paper is really, I don't know, in a way it feels kind of like a vinyl, kind of like a paper. It's kind of weird. I like it though. I love using all these specialty papers because I think they're just so fun. And I'm just going to keep creasing that down because it's, and then this is actually folding a lot better than some of it. So, and I have got to buy some little clips too, because it would be so much handier to have the little clips to hold this together. I don't have any, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and fold this over, and I need my bone folder, which has disappeared in the mess over here. I'm really enjoying doing this video album tutorial with you, but boy is it going to be nice to get all the paper and stuff off my desk. Okay, and so I've just put that over now, and it's actually grabbing, which is amazing, and I'm just going to use my bone folder on the little creases here where the album's going to fold. Oops. That might be full of glue the way that's going. I'll be cleaning that stuff up, and I hate getting that stuff on me. So no matter what you do, it sticks, and it sticks good. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this side and do the same thing with it. Hoping I'm in frame. I know it's a little hard to see what I'm doing because this is so tiny, but and a little more on that edge. Okay, and I think that glue has had it. I think that one's going to go in the garbage. Okay, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to push it over, make sure I get it right down on the edge of my little book. And I'm just going to crease this with my bone folder so that when I go to bend the book, it's going to work. You know what I mean? It's going to fold like it's supposed to. Okay, so I have my paper, and that side is not sticking like the other side, but I have it glued on here. My little crease is made, both sides. And I am going to set this aside to dry with a lot of weight on it. Whatever I can grab off my back here, the Mod Podge, that'll hold it. That's heavy. And my gesso. And my golden matte medium, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to leave mine like this for now, and I need the dust. I will see you as soon as this is dry. Bye for now. I'm back, and our little binding here, spine is dried now, as you can see. So it's going to be like that, and when you use this type of paper, it's going to be a little stiff, so you might want to work it over just a little, just bend it. Don't crease it too tight, but just bend your pages over, like so, and yeah, there we go. We got our little spine on our book. Okay, so while I was gone, I went ahead and I made up all the tags for this little album. Like I said, I'm going to be out of town babysitting my two favorite pups for the weekend, and I'm not going to be back till Monday, so I went ahead and I did the tags for this, and I will put all the measurements I used for mine down in the description box when we're done with this video. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I did here. Remember our first one, the little library pocket. I just did a little tag that goes in here, and this is a point when you start putting the little tags in and all that stuff, that you all of a sudden realize, hey, you know what, my book is getting really fat, really full. So whatever I do for embellishments probably isn't going to be a whole lot, and this is a part two, or if you don't have fingernails, you may want to get some tweezers to get your tags out of your book, because I'm struggling here with this one. So for the little library pocket on the front that we did, I made a little tag, and I got my little notes here, and the tag itself is 3/4 by 1 3/8, and then I did the mat here 5/8 by 1 1/4 long, and I didn't do anything with the back side. So that's our little tag there. Get back in. The next page, of course, was the Old World Santa, and when we do the embellishing part, I'm probably just going to put some stickles on him and stuff and do that. I did do the little waterfall ones, and I did that the other day, and the little mats on them come out to 1/2 inch by 3/4 inch, so we're getting pretty tiny there. And when I embellish, it'll probably be something kind of flat here too, because I'm really just about to the point where my album is going to start sticking out funny, and I don't want that to happen. And this one here, where we did the little belly band, I just have 2 tags in here. The first one is on, comes out to be 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And the small one I did at 1 3/8 long by 7/8 of an inch wide, and that is the size of the tag on the mat. Like I said, I will have all of these measurements in the description box for you when we're done. So those are just going to sit behind our little belly band like that, or at least in my album. You can do whatever you want with yours. Okay, the next one, where we had the tag that flips up, or the pocket that flips up there, I had used another little cutout from the paper, and on the back I just used some little line paper, so it looks like a little journaling spot back there. Okay, and on that one, I made that one 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. And then I have my tiny little tags down here, my double pocket. And I'll tell you what, these got to be just like little stick tags, kind of. They're so thin and small. And I did measure them. They're 3/8 of an inch wide by 1 1/2 inches long. So you might want to make this a single pocket if you're not, don't want to do this, because really it's kind of a pain. And I did punch my hole with my crocodile on the smallest hole, but it was really tough to get it there, so you might want to use a paper piercing tool. And I didn't have any, ribbon or anything tiny enough, so I just used some jute twine for necklaces on mine, and since I had black on the page, I figured it'd be okay to do black. I'm not going to take the other one out. I'm going to try to get this one in. And sometimes, after you've glued these and stuff, and I mean, it's not that you'll get them stuck shut, but the paper just sticks together, just right up against each other. You may want to take a little something and, kind of pry your little hole open first before you put your tag in. So yeah, that's what I got going on there. Alright, the next page, and this is when I realized that I'm not going to be able to do a lot of stand-up embellishments. I'm going to have to use really flat stuff probably. So I decided that I would just do one large photo mat here in our corner pocket. And I did that photo mat, let's see, corner pocket. Photo mat is 1.5 by 1 3/4, and then the mat on the inside of that is 1 1/4 by 1.5. Okay, and I'm really not going to be able to do a lot of stand-up embellishment because we do have our little double slider over here. And I haven't done anything with that yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to put on here, but it's not going to be anything very thick. So if you want to do more of the really cool embellishments, like if you have tiny flowers, little buttons you want to use or whatever, you might not want to do some of these thicker things. Okay, this is the spot for a little Christmas card, and we're going to go ahead and do that together. I've got everything cut out for it, so we're going to do that right after I get done flipping through here. Okay, this one I haven't done anything with. It's just, for right now, remaining the little flap with the pullouts. This one with the little gingerbread man, again, I had the same problem. I realized I'm not going to be able to embellish a lot, and I can't really put a lot of tags in because that's just going to take up, it's just going to make it wider. And I've done really good at staying right in my 1/4 inch that I allowed myself. So what I did with this one is I used the snowflake paper, but this was a little cutout piece and it says Dashing Through the Snow on it. And then on the back, because I had the gingerbread man here, I fussy cut a little gingerbread lady, put her back there, and it can be a little photo mat or whatever you want, someone would want to use it for. This, of course, I'm probably not going to do anything else with except leave the bow on there. And our last page with the little house. I might stamp something inside of here. I might not. I'm not sure because we already have the little, I already have the little airmail and rush and December 25th and that on there. So I might just leave that one too, just for the sake of the fact that this little album is pretty chunky. But they're cute. They are. They're very cute. So I will get all of these, all of the measurements down in the description box. And when I talk about, the tag itself, I mean the base of the photo mat, the part I left red. And when I say the matte part, I mean any colored paper I put on it. So, but if you have any questions, when this is done, please leave your comments in the comment box and I will answer you. I'm trying to get to answering everybody. But I've noticed that, they have that little red bell deal up there that tells you, that, oh, we've got, comments, messages, whatever. Mine doesn't always come up, and then like 2 days later I'll get, oh, somebody commented on a video you put up like 2 days ago, so I don't know. I guess that's the way YouTube is. Okay, so we're going to do our little Christmas card together, and I wouldn't even know what you'd say for scaled down size on this, A2, whatever, it's pretty much impossible. So what I've done is I took some cream colored cardstock, and I cut it at 1.5 inches long by 2 inches wide. And then I scored it, I put it the 2-inch wide way on my scoreboard, and I scored it at 1 inch. So our little card is going to be, basically when it's folded, it's going to be 1 inch by 1.5. Okay. All right. Then I decided I wanted to mat my little card, or what I do on the front, I want to mat that too. So I cut another little piece to go on my card, and that is 7/8 by 1 3/8 for my little mat. You guys, I'm getting so excited because this project is just about done. I have had so much fun doing it with you. I have had so much fun reading the comments on this. And what I'm really most excited about, most of you have told me, there's a lot of you anyway, that have told me that you want to try one of these for yourselves. And that just makes me so happy because they're so cute and they really are fun. I know at first, when you look at something like this, you may go like, wow, how'd they do that? Or it might seem a little bit intimidating. It's not so bad. Really, it's not. They're just fun. Like I said, you can hang them on the Christmas tree when you're done, you know, and then people can have a little interactive ornament to go look at. They're cute as gifts. You know, and I am just so excited, so thrilled that you guys want to go ahead and, you know, make some for yourself. And I would love to see them when you get them done. I really would, because, you know, I'm doing mine and it's just kind of a fun little album, you know. It's not really, you know, it's not elegant or anything else. It's just kind of a fun little album. And I really want to see what you guys come up with one and what kind of paper you use and everything. That would just be so awesome to me. So yeah, I am so excited. So now I'm just trying to put my little mat down on here. You know what? I bet I'm going to make a miniature card better than I make a real one, because I'm not a card maker. I want to make cards. I'm just not very good at it. And I think it's probably just because I haven't made very many. Or maybe it's just I'm not very good at it. I just have to make a few more to see. Okay, so that's about as close as I can get that matted, because it's so tiny. Like that. Alright, then, if I can find it now, because I was digging through my stamps. I don't have a lot of Christmas stamps. And where is my piece? You can't leave me, you're too tiny and I can't find you. This might take me a second here to locate my piece. Where did it go? It's the only piece. Ah, there it is, laying underneath that. I've got so many little paper scraps laying around from our little project. So anyway, yeah, I was going through my stamps, and I don't have a lot of Christmas stamps, but sometimes I go into the thrift stores and I can buy a package of stamps for like, or a bag that has stamps in it, and there'd be like $2.99, and you get quite a few stamps. And a lot of times they're really good. Like I went in one day and they had this pack, and it had the Martha Stewart. They're like, one's a monogram stamp set with letters and numbers, and the other was just letters and numbers, and it even had the stamping block thing for it. And I mean, these were like almost new. You could tell they'd only been used like maybe once. And I got both of them in a bag for $2.99. So that was really great. And then sometimes I get stamps like these that are just kind of cheap. They must be really cheap stamps. They're just, and these are pretty grungy. Somebody obviously used these a lot. But they still work. And, you know, I'm not going to throw them out just because they're not the greatest. I can use them for, I do a lot of polymer clay. I can use them for that. And I can use them for this too, because they are clean. They just don't look very good anymore. So what I thought we would do, and I thought this would be really, really cute, is I thought we could emboss, and I have this stamp here, it's got a little Christmas tree on it. I thought I would emboss a little Christmas tree on the front of my card. Now I don't know how this is going to go. I've done tiny embossing. I did it on the card I made for Gareth, and it worked out fine, but it's just getting your little thing, you know, and I don't have any tiny sentiment stamps, so we're just going to have to pretend there's a sentiment on this one. So I'm going to ink it up with my, and I'm just using the Ranger Perfect Medium that I got with my Perfect Pearls set. It's small, it's good for this size. I'm getting it on my stamp, and I don't want to do that because I don't want embossing powder everywhere, so I'm just going to try to wipe that off. And because this is so tiny, I'm going to try to guess at this and try to get it what looks like about even. And I may not be quite in screen here, but I really need to try. I want to try to get this about as even as I can. So here goes nothing. I'm just going to press it down on there. Hopefully, and you know what? I am way over to the side with this. It's not bad, but I think I'm going to cut. There's my piece. I had a piece cut off there. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut one more and try this one more time because I really want it to come out nice. I want it to be like I want it, and now I can't find. I had another little piece of this cardstock that I cut off, and I kind of have a really small space here, so everything is really around me, you know, really close here. Oh, here we go. Okay, and I've already got it cut, I believe, to the right length. Nope, I got to cut it down 1/4 inch. Okay, so back to my little cheating notes. I said that that was 3/4 by 1 1/4. So I'm just going to chop it off here at the 3/4 mark. Whoops, now my, alright, bad idea. Alright, hold from this side if I can, or just push it down tight. Okay. 3/4. Didn't go so well either, but I'll take my where I need it 1 1/4, I'll take it off that end, and it should be okay. like I said, if I don't get it a little more even this time around, I'm just gonna let it go, because, and I can always do another one. But I really wanted to do this with you guys because I thought this would be kind of cool. Okay, so once again, we're gonna ink up our little Christmas tree, and I'm gonna try to keep it right on the tree, and not get it all over the snake, because that just would be very, very bad. Just gonna wipe that off a little bit. I'm gonna try this again. Okay, and it's so hard because I really wish at this point that I had a small, you know, like one of the little cling stamps, the clear ones. Okay, so I'm going to guess that that's going to be closer than the last one. And like I said, just for the sake of doing this, I'm just going to go with whichever one's close. I can always make another little Christmas card, and I'm betting I'm crooked on this one. And I am a little crooked, but I am a lot more even, so we're going to go with that. Alright, so I have some green embossing powder here. I'm just using Recollections brand. It's called Pesto. And that was about the only green I could find right now. They're kind of out of green, so I'm going to hope I have enough sticky on this. Go ahead and put my embossing powder down on it. I don't need a whole lot. That's the cool part too. Not that, you know, even when you're doing a big project, you hardly use any embossing powder. I'm just going to blow this. And I see I got, there we go. I'm just wiping off a little of the edges over my garbage can over there. I'm going to put this back right away, or I will spill it. That is me. That is how I do things. I will spill it. So there, I'm going to put my lid back on this. I'm going to grab my heat gun, probably burn my fingers, but it won't be the first time. So I'm going to heat up a minute. And here we go. Ouch. Yeah, that's not working. I do have a bamboo skewer though. I'm going to use that to try to hold it down. There we go. And it's turning nice. I don't want to get it too hot and make it bubble. That should do it for us. Okay. So I was pretty close to being on with this. I don't know if you can see it. There's our little Christmas tree. Now I'm just going to take and glue it down onto my card. Like I said, I don't have any tiny sentiment stamps. I wish I did, because that would really be cute to be able to do that inside. But when I did the one I did for Gareth, I just kind of wrote my own little message, and believe me, there wasn't much room to write that either, because I write really, really big, so this doesn't work real well for me writing in these. But anyway, there, so you can get the idea. There is our little miniature Christmas card. Open it up. You can write whatever you want, and if you're lucky enough to have a tiny, tiny sentiment stamp, that'd be awesome. Anyway, so there it is. Make sure that's glued down good. And we will get out our little album. Stick it. I'm lifting this up with my fingernail because this card is a little thick. Okay. Stick it down in our little pocket. And there we go. Alright, so I am not sure how long this video is running. Like I said, maybe while I'm up at my daughter's I can remember to go get a clock too, huh? Alright, well at some point we're going to have to put this into our little album. So I'm going to try to flatten that out as much as possible. Now when I made this, I allowed that little 1/8 of an inch edge, and I may get my head in the way here just a minute, but I'm just checking on something. And I'm going to have it so the outside edges of the little 1/8 of an inch edge on this should be right about, and it's probably not going to be exact. For some reason mine kind of shrunk down. I think it was putting all the stuff in it. They should be right as close as you can get them. I bet you're seeing all my gray hair, huh? I need to dye my hair. Should be so that those are right about even with your folds. The outside edge of your little 1/8 of an inch score line should be right about even with the folds. And then I'm just going to try to get it up over, just up over a little bit on my spine covering here. And it looks pretty good. And you may have to pull on it just a little bit. That's not going to hurt the book any, but when you put the pages in, they kind of, I don't know, kind of shrinks it down a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put that in, and I'm probably going to let that dry, check on the length of this video, and if it's not too long, I'll come back and we're going to do the inside and the front and back. put our little closure on, embellish the front, do a little embellishment inside first, and we're going to have our little mini album. It'll be all done. I may come back and I'm gonna glue this in. I'm gonna let it dry. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back, and I know this video is gonna run a little bit longer, but I'm gonna be gone. I won't be back until sometime Monday. So I really would like to get this finished up for you, and you can have the weekend to work on one of your own, or just enjoy your weekend. So I think we're gonna do that. I'm gonna glue this in, let it set for a while, come back. We'll put in any little embellishments I'm gonna put in. And then we'll make a separate video, which I'll probably do later tonight, try to have up by tomorrow, or maybe do it tomorrow morning and try to have it up before I have to leave. Finish our covers, and we're done. So thank you very much. Oh, I guess I should go ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself, huh? I should go ahead, and I am going to use my quick grip glue on this also, because I really want it to stick, and boy, it's going to be a trick getting any more glue out of this. And I am gluing all the way over from one edge to the other. And like I said, you know, if you feel more comfortable or want to use score tape for this like you would a regular one, that's fine. I want mine to stay. Since it's so tiny, and, you know, if somebody pulls on it, I want to know it's going to stay in there. So, you know what? I had just enough glue, and I had to fish this out of the garbage can because I was like, oh, I'm done. I'll throw it away now. Well, I wasn't exactly done. So there, now I'm going to throw it away. There, it's down there. Okay, I'm going to want to grab this, and I'm going to kind of use my thumbs to hold my pages up so they're not in my way. I'm just going to eyeball this so it looks like it's about... Okay, and my little 1/8 inch score lines, like I said, mine kind of shrunk up with putting all the pages in, are right there, and I've got it... Go ahead and push this down real hard. Like I said, I don't have little clamps, which I really should invest in. But it's going to look, where are we at? Like this. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Let's see how far I can zoom. Okay, I got to go out this way. Okay, see, so I have this in here. My little 1/8 inch score line is right by my fold. And right by my fold on this side. But I really had to pull to get it over there. I need to adjust this just a bit. It's all glued down, and I'm going to leave it set with some weight on it while I'm letting it dry. I'm going to zoom back out now. It's driving me crazy. It's too close. I'm going to put some weight on it, and again, I think I'm going to use my Mod Podge because that's almost full, and I'm going to use my gesso, which is almost full. I'm just going to squish it together like so with my pages up, my little spine down, and I will see you back again. I'm going to check the length of this video, and I think I'm probably going to call it quits here, and we'll probably just go ahead on the next video, do all of our embellishing, all of our covers and the front, and we'll be all done with this little guy. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the last and final part. Thank you. Bye-bye.